Okay, we'll move on. Jennifer Zanglin,
Here.
Matthew Best,
Here.
Charles Coleman,
Here.
Kimberly Knobs. Also a no-go. Okay, Todd O'Neill.
Here.
I don't think we have a student rep. Elizabeth Renaud
Here.
and Miss Jennifer Price.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
Fantastic.
And we'll move right into it. We need a motion for the approval of today's agenda.
This is Todd O'Neill. I make a motion. We approve the agenda for today.
This is Chuck Coleman. I'll second.
All righty, motion by Todd O'Neill, seconded by Chuck Coleman. We'll go for a roll call vote.
Chair Bellinger,
Aye.
Denise Willoughby,
Aye.
Charles Coleman,
Aye.
Todd O'Neill.
Aye.
Very good. And next, we need a motion for the approval of the minutes from March 9th, 2021.
This is Todd O'Neill. I make a motion. We approve the minutes from February 9th, 2021, right? Or March?
March 9th.
March 9th, 2021.
And do we have a second?
I second it. I, Denise Willoughby, second it.
All right, motion by Todd O'Neill, seconded by Denise Willoughby. We'll do a roll call vote.
Chair Bellinger,
Aye.
Denise Willoughby,
Aye.
Co-Chair Coleman,
Yes. Aye.
Todd O'Neill.
Aye.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yep. So does anybody have anything for old business for us?
No, I don't believe so, Dan.
Okay,
This
let's
is
move.
Zanglin.
Let's keep it moving because it is too nice outside right now. Way too nice. So new business. I don't know who's going to speak on it, but I assume somebody has some information for us on the 2021 fireworks.
Boy, Dan, I could be telling you I've got a display going on right now. You just can't see it. No, I'm kidding. So it's time to talk about our 2021 fireworks. This is Jennifer Zanglin. And we've had our account clerk, Jennifer Price, put out a bid. She's reached out to Zambelli, Melrose, Michigan Fireworks, Wolverine, Mad Bomber, and Great Lakes. We received bids from Zambelli and from Melrose. We did not receive bids from the other three companies. And so what we do is we look at our bids and we look at the shot count of what they can offer us for the, and Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, it's our $10,000 show, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so our $10,000 show, we asked them, hey, what can you give us for these different size fireworks? And the sizes go from 6 inches down to 3 inches and then below 3 inches or smaller than 3 inches. So to give you, I'll start with a total count. So we have Zambelli. Zambelli is a company that we've used for several years. And Zambelli is giving us a total shot count. And the sizes go from 6 inches down to 3 inches and then below. Can you guys hear me? That was like my twin was re-speaking what I just said. That was weird. So now I know what I hear, I smell like, what I sound like. I'm losing my brain. I'm telling you. I feel like I can't see you guys, so I can't talk.
Go out. You got to get outside.
I know. Okay, so let's pull it together. The total shot count between our two vendors who have given us quotes, Zambelli, the total shot count is 1,258 fireworks. The total shot count for Melrose is 896 shots. Okay. So Zambelli is giving us more, but I want to give you the breakdown for the sizes. So we'll start small and work up. For the smaller fireworks, which are under 3 inches, Zambelli is giving us 500, Melrose 580. Okay, so I know you can't visually see this unless you've seen it in our agenda. But Melrose is giving us more of the less than 3-inch by 80. And then we move up to the 3-inch in diameter fireworks. Zambelli 460, Melrose 150. So about, what is that, 310 more. And then we move on to the 4-inch. Zambelli is offering 144 4-inch fireworks, Melrose 100 4-inch fireworks. At the 5-inch, Zambelli comes in at 90 shots and Melrose 48, so just under half. Oh, start my video. Start my video. Let's see what this does for us. All right, you got me. All right, folks. I will finish telling you what this is, and then I can share my screen, Lord willing, because I've never done that before. And then the 6-inch fireworks, which are the largest shots that we have for that was bid out. Zambelli is offering 64 shots as compared to Melrose 18 shots. And I'm going to try to do this. Bear with me. Ooh, okay. This really should have been practiced because I don't know how to do this. Okay. Share. How do we share, folks?
So click share screen and then all your different screens should pop up in whichever one.
Yeah, I've got it on my.
Hey,
Yes.
Jen,
Yeah.
I was able to include that in the email, this Excel spreadsheet. So the members do have that.
Well, let's see if I can get it to pop up. This is a scary thing for me to do. Okay. Oh, we're getting close, people. Oh, I shouldn't talk too soon. Okay, let's just see if you can see this. Can anybody see my screen?
Nope.
Like I can see it. Okay, I clicked the share screen.
We can see you.
Yeah, well, there, I'm not doing anything I shouldn't be.
Yep, and after you click share screen, it should give you some options of which window you would like to share. And then you
Okay,
choose that one.
I clicked on Google Drive.
I got
really
it.
want-
Got it.
I'll just tell you what I'm doing. I really want to get to my desktop.
There we go. It's shared. I see it.
I'm sharing
Okay.
it for you, Jennifer.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have my latest PowerPoint though. So are you, well, okay, let me get back to my Zoom. I'm afraid I'm going to click out of something I shouldn't. Okay, well, thank you for doing that, Elizabeth. Okay, so it's so much easier to see it than have me try to tell you. So it gives you the total shots. Now, Zambelli is a company we've been using. They always give us more shots, more bang for our buck is what I always like to say. And a little background on Zambelli. They've been our vendor for at least the last 10 years. They're extremely familiar with our setup. They're great about, they know exactly where we set up and they do a great job preparing the site, cleaning up afterwards. They have our insurance requirements. They meet our insurance requirements. I believe so does Melrose. But when you look at the shot comparison, there really isn't much comparison. We want to get a good show for our residents and be able to, spend their money wisely. So we're looking for recommendations on who we should, what vendor we should go with. So I'm looking for a motion for you guys to decide which vendor we should go with, that we should bring this to the board.
So I'll make a motion right now that we approve Zambelli as the fireworks provider for the 2021 year.
Chuck Coleman, I second that motion.
And can we get a roll call tally here?
Absolutely. Chair Bellinger,
Aye.
Denise Willoughby,
Aye.
Co-Chair Coleman,
Aye.
Todd O'Neill.
aye.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, so we'll just need a motion for that. So I mean, like, Jen, we'll just need to prepare that for the board.
Yeah, a motion extract.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm emailing Elizabeth as we speak. So Elizabeth, if I'm not able to pull this up, and I apologize. I'm just, IT is not my forte. But I've sent that over to you. If there's any way you can pull up my PowerPoint when we move on to the next agenda item. I could hold it up.
No, I'll share it for you.
Thank you. I just emailed you. I couldn't remember if I sent you the latest version or not.
Did it go through? I haven't received it yet.
It should have. Let me check.
Ryan, can you go ahead and promote Bert and Robert? Please.
No problem.
Let me try it again, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Yep.
I can't tell if there's anyone in the audience. I'm not as technical suave as
I got
you
it.
guys are.
We'll send you the list, don't worry.
Okay.
Jen and I need some updates.
Yeah.
Well, I've sent it to you, Elizabeth. I hope that it's come through. It says it's sent.
I don't have it. I do have the one that you sent me a couple days ago.
Well, while we're waiting for the presentation to pop up for the sake of time, once again, Matthew Best from the Department of Public Services. I think you have already met Elizabeth Renault from Public Services, Robert Stempian from Plant Moran Cressa, Bert Kozak from Newman Smith. And one of the pieces of the puzzle that the Recreation Committee needs to hear about in terms of the community center is what happens after we build it? What are we going to do? And today, Jennifer Zangline from our Parks and Recreation Department is going to spend some time talking with you about the potential programming for the community center. Director Zangline.
Yeah, so I have this awesome PowerPoint that you can clearly not see. And hopefully that'll come through. So, you know, what's interesting to me is,
Can you guys see it? Sorry to interrupt you.
no, is it up? Let me see. I'm looking at it because
Yeah,
I
you're
pulled it
it's
up.
sharing, Elizabeth.
Okay.
Yay, thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you so much. Dun, dun, dun. You were like, wow, it was worth the wait. So what we're talking about is trying to imagine a building that hasn't been built, that really hasn't been drawn out yet, right? We've got some ideas, trying to put some lines and some geometry to these thoughts and what we'd like to do. So in pulling these ideas out of the air, how do we program this? What are we looking to do? And really it's limitless, but we got to start somewhere. So this community center within the community center, we'll be housing our recreation offices and also senior services with Parks and Recreation offices and with the September Days Senior Center. We have discussed that this will be an extension off our existing building. So we're going to be building out to the south just a little bit. And you can see how excited I am in this picture that we're jumping into this endeavor. Now, this is one of our beautiful drawings, just trying to kind of imagine what this space can be like. We've seen schematics of what the inside can look like. Of course, we're still imagining this and still coming up with our concept. But this is to give you an idea of what it may look like from a great outside perspective. So we're looking at the our current offices and what it may look like, you know, with a great outdoor space, increasing our gym, and just realizing all of these great ideas that they've had for us. Okay, so first of all, this is a picture of our current gymnasium. Our current gymnasium is smaller than regulation. We make great use of it. We have basketball, pickleball, all kinds of great things happening in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our smaller single court basketball, or gymnasium rather, and have a full-size court that can be sectioned off into 2 areas, which will allow for 2 smaller courts that will probably be about the same size as what we have right now. So if you think of our 1 smaller court, we'll have 2 smaller courts that can be enlarged into 1 large court. And we've had the capability in the past of pulling a curtain, but it leaves 2 sides of a very small basketball court, which is really hard to program and hard to use. So we're excited about increasing our gymnasium. This will allow for, you can go ahead, Elizabeth. This will allow for programming such as open gym time, open basketball time, basketball clinics, basketball leagues, large fitness classes, and our gymnastics classes. We'll be able to do indoor pickleball year round and continue things like pickleball and the senior golf clinics that we have. We'll be able to have large events like our senior wellness that we have, our craft shows, and also with our summer camps. We'll be able to do our summer camps inside and have the space for them to spread out. And we'll also be able to have our gym open for gym rentals. We'll have the space where we can section this off, and we'll be able to offer so much more. The one thing that we absolutely cannot do right now is we've never been able to run programs concurrently. It isn't like, hey, can we split the gym and do this class and then the other class on the other side? And we have not been able to do that. And many times you'll walk into a rec center and you'll see that there's Taekwondo going on and maybe a basketball clinic at the same time. And we'll be able to do things like that once we build this larger gymnasium. Another space that so many people are so excited about is an indoor elevated track. This track is going to allow us Michiganders a chance to get fit and walk no matter what Mother Nature throws at us. So when we have those long winters, we can come inside and walk along the track. And, like a lot of these tracks, they have space for people to walk, to run. Some tracks are stroller friendly, so parents can stroll the kids around, maybe at certain times, maybe at any time. And then we're looking forward to offering some different incentives. So you can go to the next slide there, Elizabeth. So, an indoor track, it really programs itself. It's really space for people to just exercise and not have a program, not have a set schedule. But sometimes you need a little incentive to get going. A lot of places do offer like walking clubs. And so that can be something that if we decide to do that, we can offer a walking club, maybe at a minimum fee, maybe $5 or $10 a year, and people can join this. And then when they hit certain mile markers, like 100 miles, 250 miles. I mean, if you think about it, if you come and walk 5 miles a day, that could really add up. And then with the walking club, have some really fun incentives where they can earn t-shirts and really show off the mile markers that they have achieved. Our fitness zone. Right now at Township Hall, we have a small workout room that's in the senior center. It has a few pieces of equipment and it's there just for senior center members. We're looking at a fitness zone that can be open to all of our adults, and it'll have cardio weight machines. They're able for them to use. This will be a space that we will offer tours to new residents or new members coming in. We may offer some classes to show how to use the equipment, but it's going to be a space for them just to be able to get fit. A fitness studio. This is kind of a reimagined place for us to do our dance, and not just for youth dance, but for any type of aerobic exercise, including martial arts. So a lot of these classes are smaller classes. They focus on instruction. So like Kid Kwando, Taekwondo for children will be a smaller class where they're teaching the kids skills, and it requires a smaller space, not necessarily the entire gymnasium. Or for jazzercise or Zumba or any type of aerobic activity, this will be a space for them where it's got a great floor, it's good for dance, and they'll be able to exercise those type of activities in the fitness studio. So I covered some of these fitness studio programming. It's hard to say, exactly how many classes you're going to have, but looking at this, I was trying to envision having classes and having time between classes in order for a class to pack up, clean up, and allow another class to come in. So I was kind of imagining having classes 7 days a week, maybe 6 classes a day, probably about 20 people per class. So the fitness studio could see something like 840, not to be too specific, people a week using a room like that. And we look forward to that.
Are the classes run by outside people?
Yeah, in the past, Todd, most of our classes, we bring in instructors to run those. When it comes to our big events, and sometimes some of the smaller classes we take care of, usually special events we take care of in-house, but these types of classes with like Tai Chi, martial arts, I don't teach that, but Tai Chi, Zumba, we do bring in instructors for those classes.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you can teach anything, please let us know. We're gonna sign you up.
Well, and then you charge a fee for people to attend, right?
Yeah, so what happens right now, and things might change in the future as we reimagine ourselves. Right now, we do a split with the instructor where they're coming in, the revenue gets split between them and between, from them and us, and we have an agreement and a contract, and that's what we go with.
Has there been any interest in any other people wanting to come in and because we're going to build this facility, like they want to use our center?
We haven't had a lot of interest just yet because this is just going and they know that we're shut down. They probably think they can't call us. They can call us. Call us. But we have in the past. And unfortunately, we've turned instructors away because we haven't had room.
Right.
We've said, well, our gymnasium as it stands has been busy with open gym and the certain programs that we have currently, and we couldn't offer another program concurrently. And so that was really limited us in what we could offer. And so we're excited about having more space and having more rooms. Right. Currently, we have our gymnasium and our multi-purpose room that we use for dance, and that's it. And we kind of share and borrow space from the seniors, but they're limited as well. So we're really excited about having some extra rooms and a lot more space. Okay, now in this, and I'm going through descriptions, I'm using titles that we had in our initial report. The multi-purpose room is a room that's going to be used for childcare. So when parents are working out, they'll be able to drop their children off safely with our staff, and we'll be able to watch them. And this room will also be something we can use for community meetings, additional fitness space, and anything else that we need it for. We could be using it for staff trainings, for anything you can imagine. Right here, you see some like a child watch area, and you also see a scout meeting. So there's we get a lot of requests for just space that people want to meet. They want to be able to get together and have their kids signing up for soccer and signing up for baseball, and just having a room where coaches can get together. And like I said, additional fitness space will be fantastic. So this is the multi-purpose room again, just showing some more activities. I threw CPR in there. I just got recertified. So it'd be great to have a room, to possibly a carpeted room where we can do these types of things. Just having larger meeting space, trainings, classes, community meetings. We do get a lot of requests for these types of things. It'd be great to have the space for it. So senior game room. I love the guy on the left. He's like, Jennifer, wrap it up. You can see him. Senior game room. So our senior game room right now is located in the senior center, and it has a couple of pool tables and it has some exercise equipment. So they're hoping to change maybe the senior game room a little bit and have some card tables, have some space where they can relax, just a nice social area for them. Okay, this is one of the things I'm so excited about everything, but I cannot tell you how many times people call up and say, do you have a room I can rent? I want to throw a birthday party. I want to have a baby shower. I just need a room. So in our plans, we have space for a couple multi-purpose party classrooms. They're a little bit smaller. They could probably hold like 10 to 15 people. And Elizabeth, I keep getting ahead of myself, but you can move to the next slide. There we go. Are you guys excited about crochet? It's on the list. So the current plan shows 2 small classrooms, maybe holding like 10 to 15 people, like I said. And when you start to think about a smaller classroom, the nice thing about a smaller classroom is sometimes you have activities that don't have a lot of people. It's not a big draw, but it needs a quiet space and maybe some concentration. So a room for tutoring, book clubs, any type of club meetings, art classes, kids crafting, smaller training classes. It could even be great for us in-house when we're interviewing or doing like staff reviews, that type of thing. Community meetings, health centers, screenings. I know that in the senior department, they'll have certain doctors that come around once in a while and have appointments with people, just like general health, nothing really too detailed. We have sewing groups, crocheting groups that meet, and those rooms would be perfect for them. Small scout workshops, party rooms. We're pretty excited about that. And again, I'm like crunching numbers into the, into the air here, thinking that if we have 2 classrooms and we're using it throughout the day, there could be possibly a couple hundred, maybe 400 people a week using these classrooms. And they will fill up. We'll definitely be busy weekends and evenings. And then through the week, we'll be scheduling them for some of these smaller activities, the clubs that meet here. We have a lot of things that happen in the senior department during the day. And we'll be branching out into recreation as well. Okay, Black Box Theater. Matt had brought this up, Director Best brought this up last meeting. And I honestly didn't know what it was. And so I included what it is. It's a simple performance space that can vary in size. It's usually a square room with black walls and a flat floor. This is something that we can reimagine any way our needs suit. This is something that we were talking about, perhaps, maybe we'll include this in our plans. Maybe this is something that we want. And this is a unique thing. It's a space that allows us to do concerts and plays, musicals, speeches, any type of theater like puppet shows, magic shows, lectures. We could host recitals and conferences, possibly the state of the township, award ceremonies, or maybe even like an actors guild would want to come in and use the space to help us, to kind of bring more culture and entertainment to the township. Excuse me. And then we have an even cooler space, outdoor performance patio. I named it. So you guys can name it whatever you want. But the outdoor performance patio, I just threw a name on it. It's a fantastic thought, a fantastic idea. And I really hope we're able to do this. It gives us space outside to gather, space to have outdoor concerts and outdoor movies. We can have plays outside, any type of speeches or theater we want to do outside. What about like street performers, open mic nights? This is a place that summer camp can utilize. They can put on plays and skits and things for their families. We can have food truck rallies out there, recitals, or just an open space to gather and relax. So this, in the schematic here, it has the space going off the south end of the building. And you can see where that would be a lovely space to be able to relax. Maybe you've spent your time in the rec center and your family has had some fun playing basketball, or you came here for a class and now you can picnic outside, listen to some music, and just kind of enjoy the evening. That's our outdoor performance patio. So looking ahead, we have this beautiful drawing of what it might look like. And I know you probably all see something a little bit different in this picture. To me, I've got my park guys pulling up. They're in the truck. They're dropping off supplies, helping us out in the rec center. the community center. So we're looking forward to this in the near future. We can walk in these new doors to a new facility filled with hope, promise, treadmills, a walking track, and so much more. So we thank you all for your continued support of Van Buren Township Parks and Recreation, and we eagerly await the day when these doors will open.
Thank you. At this time, are there any questions for Director Zanglein regarding programming for the community center?
No, it looks good.
It'll be nice, won't it?
Yes, yes.
I feel like I should clap for you. That was a
I
great
know.
presentation.
Oh my gosh. Well, don't clap for my IT abilities. Like, somebody put it on the computer.
So if there's no further comment, the next steps for the community center are very clear. Between now and our next meeting in May, you as the community recreation committee have a responsibility to think long and hard about your recommendation on whether to move forward with the community center, and to make that recommendation one way or another to the Board of Trustees. That recommendation being made at the next Recreation Committee will be coming to you and asking for a recommendation one way or another. It will be extremely important to bring the people's comments and voice, especially your voice as the Recreation Committee, to the board for their consideration on whether or not to move forward. I will say that due to constraints of time, we have already brought in and assigned the contract of the owner's representative for this project to Plant Moran Cressa through Robert Stempian. And we've begun the preliminary background work that needs to be done if you decide to move forward with Bert Kosak and Newman Smith. And we're just doing contracts right now. So no money's changed hands, no true big time work has been done. So we're basically saving time by building these things and waiting for your recommendation and the board's approval to move forward. So if there are no other questions, Elizabeth, anything to add?
There's one question I see in the chat from Reggie Miller. Where is the space for the indoor playscape as discussed?
So great question, Trustee Miller. As you remember from the discussion we had last time and the time before, the indoor playscape, while it's not on the conceptual drawings that we're seeing, that's because it's a conceptual drawing. The architect and owner's rep, when we go through the design schematic phase, which is upcoming, we'll be looking to see where that would fit, how it would fit, what our uses would be, and how much it will cost, and then we'll make a determination as part of that design process. And I waited till Bert decided to start drinking to say, Bert, what's your choice? 2 cents on this.
All of the above. Very nice presentation, by the way. Very
Thank you.
Very comprehensive, and I think most importantly, help people, I would think, understand the spaces. So back to Matt's point, this is not about design or where something goes, and it's about those spaces and how they're used and how it fits your needs and wishes. Of course, you have to budget for them as well.
We're looking forward to spreading out and filling them up.
Elizabeth, anything else to add on this?
Not at this time, just that, like you said before, next meeting, we're going to be looking for a recommendation to take to the township board.
And Matt, you said that's something you want at the next Recreation Committee meeting?
Yes.
Do we need to wait to the next meeting? I thought we were ready.
So this timeline is giving us one more chance to get some more public feedback coming in before we make that formal recommendation.
Okay.
So Matt, quick question for you. At the next meeting, when we go forward with a recommendation for the board, what does that recommendation look like? Just that we are going to proceed forward with the building of a community center, with the consideration of building a community center? What does that recommendation look like?
So that recommendation is really up to the Recreation Committee. However, if you wanted a guideline or guidance from us for that, it would be to recommend that the Board of Trustees moves forward with the design and construction of a community center. And if you had specific things that you as a committee wanted to see as part of that, you could add those as part of your recommendation if you felt strongly about something. And if there's something you absolutely did not want to see in there, you could also add that. But usually recommendations that are successful have they're mostly positive items, not negative items. So sticking to things that you want to see and as like if there's a list of things that you want. But to keep it simple, my guidance would be to recommend to the board to either design and construct a community center or not to design and construct a community center.
Thank you, Matt.
If there's no other comments, we appreciate your time tonight, and we give the floor back to the committee. Thank you.
So do we have anything for the general discussion for rec updates or park updates?
I know we've met a lot recently, Dan, and so as far as the parks go, we're just working on getting parks up and running. There's a lot going on, a lot to be done. We've had a couple staff out with COVID, and they're just coming back now, thank goodness. I hope all of you are staying safe. I hope all of our viewers, like all 4 of them, are staying safe. It's a scary time out there, so we're trying to protect ourselves, get our jobs done. As far as recreation goes, I can't remember if I mentioned this last week or not, but we have a program here at the township called The Real. It's our summer youth, like our work, what would you call that? Our summer youth program or work initiative. And that's something I'm going to be heading up this year. So you'll probably be getting some updates on that. But right now, it's just in the planning stages.
So then with that, I want to make sure that Robert or Bert doesn't have anything further that they'd like to add before we call this meeting to adjournment.
Just one comment. A great job, Jennifer, on the presentation.
Thank you.
After mentioning, some of the program needs for this facility, it is something that we need to take into consideration when we start designing these spaces, especially when it comes to storage. Because you have a lot of user groups that will be part of this facility, whether it's clubs or the scouts or whatever it may be. I think we need to be considerate of the storage needs associated with some of these programs that you plan on having for this rec center or community.
Robert,
space.
thank you. And I'll add this comment. I belong to a Parks and Rec Facebook page, and it has Parks and Recreation professionals from all over the country. And someone recently posted, hey, we're building a new rec center. We're going from small to big. And they said, what is your wish list? If you could have anything, blank check, what is it? And everybody said storage. That was their number one, because it's unfortunately, it gets either overlooked or it gets cut. And so when we're doing one activity and we're moving to the next, everything has to go somewhere, right? And it takes a whole lot of stuff to put on recreation programs. So thank you so much.
Okay.
That's important.
Well, if nobody else has any further comments, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Do we have a second to that?
I second it, Todd O'Neill.
All right, motion by Dan Bellinger, second by Todd O'Neill. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Right there.
Sorry about that. I was on mute. Chair Ballinger,
Aye.
Denise Willoughby,
Aye.
Co-Chair Coleman,
Aye.
Todd O'Neill.
Aye.
Excellent, thank you.
Everybody?
Okay.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you at the next meeting in May.